the real content of any kind of revolutionary thrust lies in the principles and the goals that you strive, not in the way you reach them.
You are now listening to Musings Behind the Creative. What's your passion?
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Musings Behind the Creative. I am your host, Renata Dixon-Walsu, and on today's episode, I have two students that have literally just finished their first year of undergrad Part 1 architecture. So congratulations on that, guys. And so I will let these two ladies introduce themselves.
Okay, my name is Enias, and as Renata just said, I just finished year 1 BA, and I'm 20 years old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mitra. I just finished first year BA architecture, and I'm 19.
Nice. Okay, so when you guys were in secondary school, not even secondary school, because I guess was college the defining factor as when you kind of figured I'm going to do architecture?
I think it was when we had to pick A levels.
Right.
It was kind of like, to be honest, I think I wanted like a mesh between maths and art. Like I wanted that kind of connection because I like both of the subjects. So architecture was just one of those things that worked.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think A level is most like usually the deciding moment where those subjects really define where you're going to go, I think. So that was the moment I had to make that decision.
Nice.
For me, I wanted to do architecture in year 9.
Really?
Yeah.
As early as year 9?
Yeah, because I did art GCSE. So they took us to this like architecture firm where we had like a nice gallery there.
Nice.
But then I kind of got put off of that just because, art and people like parents as well, like they were like a bit iffy about me doing art as an A-level subject. So I didn't really get to do A-level art in that sense, but I did maths and physics, which also got me back into. So I kind of decided like after my first year of A-levels that I was like, I don't want to do like boring accounting. Engineering was an option, but it was just like, I'm not that techie. I kind of like the arts, again, like the art and maths side of architecture. So that's what also got me.
And Mitra, what did you choose for your A-levels?
I picked physics, maths and art.
Wow. So you guys did route A. You didn't, back when we did it, we had route A and route B.
Oh.
And so route A was more maths, physics type of stuff. And then route B would be more the art courses.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So your credits, your UCAS credits were made up of your college A-level results.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So then what dictated your choice of university?
Want to go first?
Sure. I mean, for me, I didn't really have a specific choice I wanted to go to as long as I got into architecture. I did know that because I was lacking in the art A-level part, so that I may not get into like better unis. So I just applied to what there was. So like, the typical UCL. I didn't do UAL actually. I did Brighton and Westminster as well. And then Kingston, I don't remember the other one.
Okay.
But and then Kingston and Westminster were my final two. And I kind of like Westminster was closer and it just had the Fab Lab and a nicer like place of work.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to go here. So, yeah.
Okay.
I applied to Bath, UCL, Manchester, Westminster, and I think Nottingham. I think UCL and Westminster were the only two that were in London.
Right.
So that was like a big major point where it would be a lot easier for me if I didn't have to move.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and I didn't get to use it. It's fine.
Okay. And so you get in Freshers Week. What was your experience?
Okay. Well, I'm not exactly a massive social butterfly. So Freshers Week, I think I made one friend.
Oh, bless you.
And we still keep in touch now, which is good.
Good.
But I think for me it's difficult just in general. But I think when the semester actually started, like the actual course, it was a lot easier, especially with the way the studios are laid out because they're all open. So you can just walk into anyone's studio and just see what they're doing.
Right, yeah.
So like, because I was quite curious about what people did, it kind of led me to talk to them as well. And that's how I met people. So, yeah, I think I don't really know that many people outside my course. So,
Okay, yeah.
So maybe that's probably something I need to work on.
For me, same thing. Like Freshers Week, I only went into the induction days, like course info and stuff. I also only made one friend, and I do still keep in touch with her till now since foundation year.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, and what studio? I think it's a bit nerve-wracking before you start, but once you start, it's like they ease you into it. They don't just suddenly go make a building or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice, and everyone is also very nice. Like it's rare to meet not nice people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know there are some, but but it was nice. And like she said, you get to talk to people with the open space, and it's just like talking to people helps you improve way more. So it was nice as well. Yeah.
Okay. So when you got your first brief, coming from not necessarily an art background, what was that first project like for you guys?
For me, I guess, well, because I did foundation year, so that kind of helped me ease into get your brain into the creative mode, and also the workload that I didn't get to experience in, because I know art A-level was quite hefty with the coursework and the art stuff. So I didn't have that kind of time management kind of thing. So foundation helped me understand that a bit more. I enjoyed year one more than foundation year because I understood a bit more about the subject.
Yeah.
When we got the first brief in first year, I think I was a bit like, oh, okay. I don't know. It was a bit scary, but I was like, it was the chair project, was it? Yeah. Oh, no. Well, chair project was the first design. But the other brief was, it was more about human interaction.
It led into the chair.
But it did, how you can change chairs into different uses. And I think, it was a good way to start like the creative mind and thinking about things differently and seeing things differently. And I think like for architecture, that's like one of the most, it's important.
I think I kind of got lost there.
No, it's okay.
So I think when I first got the brief, because I did art A-level, I think I did have that kind of idea of how to start, because I think with art A-level, it was quite similarly structured in that way. Like, we didn't exactly get a proper checklist, but it was structured. So you kind of knew where to start and how to experiment, because I think one of the things they really like is when you experiment different things.
Yeah.
So I did that a lot in art A-level. So I had some sort of like foundation there. So I think also graphics felt a bit daunting at first. Like every time you see them on social media, they're always so like extravagant and so detailed and perfect. And like one tiny mistake, because we had to do it all by hand. In first semester. So because I didn't have any knowledge of any other software. So we were just given tracing paper, and then we just had to fine liner over it. And that took me a few tries. So I think that was good. I think just in general with the course is crits. Crits, when they first mentioned crits, my heart sank. I was so scared because I do not do well with public speaking at all. Not at all. So it was like a major kind of get me out of my shell moment. But you get used to it, hopefully. Still getting there. But first crit, I think my group was lucky actually because one of our tutors was actually ill on the day. So she gave us an extra week to do it.
Right.
So by the time that came round, I was properly prepared. I think when you want to present something, if you know what you're talking about, everything becomes easy. Because you kind of get in your element. So you kind of forget that everyone's watching you because you're just thinking about what you can say. And what you know. So that was good for me, I think. Definitely a new experience that I need to get used to. So
okay, so then I think first semester you would have been introduced into a project, very light, sort of get you guys into like the understanding in the processes and what's required of you. When did you start getting into the meat of the projects? And would that have been in second semester? And how did it feel when you got the coursework for like dissertation, the written submissions?
So I think, because in first semester, it was more of like teaching you the process that you should picking out the sites, your site research. They did it for us. They had each week we were doing all those steps. So they guide you into it. And then second semester, they kind of give you a checklist and they give you the site and then you do your project and that kind of thing. It wasn't really structured. You got to feel how to do it. I have to do my client research this way. Oh, this is my specific client and, this is the area that I've got and all that kind of research you have to do. And then you kind of, in first semester was a learning curve and then second semester is more applied. And so you can just I think it was nice because then you kind of got to see how you work and how you progress with things and what's easier for you to do first or second. What was it?
The coursework in terms of the written text.
For me, because I did Spanish A-level, and I did also history GCSE, so I was kind of okay with the writing stuff. It wasn't too bad, and also I got a bit of experience in foundation year, with simple writing stuff and cool research projects we got to pick. So I think I enjoyed the written work because it's just it's like a break from the drawings and the design, the creativeness. You get to think more broadly, historical, what's actually happened or what's happening. So I find it interesting and the theory behind everything.
I think written work, I did not have a lot of experience with it because I didn't do history GCSE. I didn't do any essay subjects in A-level. So it was kind of a blank slate for me.
Right.
But at the same time, you do get a lot of guidance on how to structure things, how to do research. We had the whole library to our disposal. So,
that's true.
And then citing things, I didn't know how to do that. So there were a lot of new things that I had to learn at first. But I think I did get the hang of it. I think because we had a 900-word essay in semester 1 and then a 2,000-word essay. For some reason, they gave us less time to do the 2,000-word essay in comparison to the 900-word.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the first one was to kind of just ease ourselves into it. And then 2,000-word, you're just supposed to know how to do it. But I think the feedback from the first essay definitely helped.
Yeah.
So, because at first my footnotes were wrong, so I had to fix those.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I did a lot better than I thought I would.
Fantastic.
So it can be done.
Essays are not bad.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So then, let's see. Did you guys, at the end of the semester, did you guys have the results, like interim results? Or did that come in the second semester?
We got them in January for the first semester, But I don't think it depends on the modules. For some of the modules, they weren't finalised. For some of them, they were. So, for example, the essay module that we had to do, that was finalised. Unless we failed. And we'd have to do it again in July.
Right.
But luckily, we didn't have to do that.
Okay.
But that was finalised. The design modules where we actually had the briefs and we had to design stuff. Those were not finalised. So in
because you're still like early way through the
they just give you like the crit feedbacks and then they never gave actually final marks.
No,
they gave it all the way to the end.
Because it's the final process. It's how you build everything up.
As in, like, we had brackets for marks. Like pass. Excellent. But we didn't get actual
great.
numbers. So I think
What was your mindset like at the point where you kind of saw what your current position is in relation to pass, mark, fail, intermediate? How did that affect your mindset, the level of determination or mindset that you had at the beginning of the year when you started? Had that shifted somewhat by the time you got the interim results?
Sure. I think it's like I don't know, because they are in the beginning when you first get that sheet of paper with good, excellent, pass, fail. It's of course like this is where you're starting. So if you're anywhere near a pass, I think you're really good to go. And like especially if you haven't really had anything to do with architecture in your whole life. And then I think I don't know. For me, it's like as long as I got above a certain amount, I was like okay with myself. But that amount, I mean, it does affect you in like, oh, I do need to do better, especially the wording they put on it. But the pass, good, and like a good, excellent, and then you have there's something. Sound is before good, and it's like I don't know. I think excellent. Everyone wants to like achieve. It's better than making it just numbers. Because then it feels like you're praising me. Like, oh yeah, you did an excellent job. But how it affected, I guess it does put you a bit like, when you first get that just pass or something, I was like, yeah, I don't want that. And then it's just like, I need to do better. And it's like, well, the good thing is they give you like the points, like during crits, they write down everything that you need to improve on, like the hierarchy systems of how the way you lay out things, the way, what you could add on into your client research and stuff. I think that helps a lot with gaining more marks, and they help you to achieve those extra marks. And the more effort you put in, the better your outcome is. So it's a subject where it requires a lot of encouragement and what's the word? motivation.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
but I think it's not that bad. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think, like Enias briefly mentioned, they give you like assessments after each crit, so you kind of know what to expect when it comes to your final grade, which I think is really good because no one likes that limbo between not knowing, between having finished the work and not knowing what your grades are.
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially like during A levels. I don't even want to think about it. I just couldn't relax.
Yeah.
But at least with this, you can kind of gauge how well you've done. So there's a lot less kind of panicking involved. You don't have to worry as much, which is good. I think with this course anyway.
Yeah, that's
I don't know about other courses, but
fair enough. Yeah.
this one. Yeah, that's definitely good. I think personally, I like to kind of push myself. So I'm kind of self-critical about things. So if I don't get above a certain threshold, I'm just kind of bummed for the whole thing.
Right.
But I think that's like the nature of the course. You're going to get bad moments in it regardless. Like some of my crits, I don't want to think back on at all because like my public speaking is just not. Sometimes it's subpar, sometimes it's great. It's really a flip of a coin. But yeah, I think that's really good about it. So.
Okay. So then, I've forgotten how many semesters there are. How many?
You only have
Two.
Two semesters. Right. So can you imagine? I've forgotten. So by second semester, I guess the pressure starts to.
Yeah.
You start to feel the pressure. It starts feeling hot in the kitchen a little bit.
Yeah.
And so in relation to the workload and output versus your tutorials. So how many times were you seeing your tutors a week?
2 days a week.
Twice a week. I think one of the days only one of them were in, and then the other day both of them were.
Yeah.
Okay. And then did that, so after every crit, did that require you to have an output for the next session progressively, as in work in progress?
It depends on the tutors, I guess. Some would prefer you to have a plan set out of what your next steps would be. So, do you know what you need to do next, what you need to improve on, change? They do, like we do after crits, a lot of tutors do have individual tutorials with each person and like just looking at everything after crit and how things should be progressing. Some students, like, they get a head-on start, like after crit, they just like, I need to just
crack on.
Others, I don't know, some like to take a break. Fair enough. I think for me, especially after that middle crit, so not before the final, it's just like, just work till final crit and you can rest a little after final. But
yeah, definitely it depends on the tutor. Our one, they did expect us to bring something. We didn't do pin-ups, but so it was a bit less like formal to the point, but they expected us to have something, which I think is good because it's very easy to get complacent. And that is the downfall when it comes to architecture, because it's very coursework heavy and things take hours. And you're very likely to underestimate how long they take. So if you start immediately,
you're good to go.
If you finish early, hooray. If you don't, then at least you can say, I put enough time into this, so no regrets, So that's good.
At what point, so for the whole year, did you have access to CAD or visual digital stuff, or was everything very much analog?
Through first semester, it was all hand drawings and digital work, except like a bit, like you could do some like Photoshop collages in that sense, like that kind of digital stuff we did like do a little bit, but they were more focused on in second semester about the digital and the CAD. So we had was it 2 weeks or 1 week?
I think it was 2.
2-week workshop where we got to like learn how to use Rhino.
Nice.
Yeah, and like, you know, laser cutting and everything. It was like a whole project they did where it's like they each, like the whole course paired up.
Yeah.
And they put you in like different continents, and we picked like different pavilions and stuff to like actually make models of and think of how they went structurally and then envelope wise and aesthetically. I think that in that sense, it was really nice to think of how things actually come together and also learning how to build things and making, like, it's that aspect of model making. You don't just like fold and stick.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
So it was nice. I enjoyed it. It was a very intensive week, but it was nice. And then later on, specific tutors taught you about like different other like was it Vectorworks we learned for CAD drawings, and then Illustrator and Photoshop. That's when they all came in.
Had you guys had any experience on Illustrator or Photoshop previously? What was that like for you?
I think at first it was a lot.
Right.
Because the way they did it was they just had us all in a giant computer room, and then they would go through it on like a giant monitor, and you just have to follow along.
Yeah.
But sometimes if you just miss one step, you just don't know what to do afterwards. So, especially with Vectorworks, I kind of had to relearn it by myself.
Yeah.
The good thing about that though is they have their own kind of tutorial videos that you can just follow along.
Yeah.
Just put it in like 2 times speed and
You're good. Yeah.
you'll get through it all. So that, I think in that sense, it was a lot more straightforward when I did it that way.
Yeah.
But I think the tutor-led ones were also really good because you get little, like, I don't know how to explain it.
Extra stuff.
Yeah, like
that
little
you can
shortcuts
do.
that they might not normally tell you about.
Yeah.
And they would know from experience.
Yeah.
They've worked with it so much.
Yeah.
So that was definitely good to take away. I think the first 2-week workshop that we did, I think in January, that one was really fast paced. So we were kind of like panicking on how to finish this whole thing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we were given, on the first day, we had to pick out like a small pavilion building that we had to make. And then we were split into 2 groups of 2.
Yeah.
So one group was doing the structure and the other group was doing the envelope. And we had to figure out how to do the measurements and everything and work together. Which, and group work in general, another thing can be very, very
Tedious. Yes.
Depending on who you work with.
Of course.
One of the things they told us immediately was don't partner up with your friends because you may not be friends.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
So, that was definitely something. Even in semester 1, like semester 1 was, I think, the first time we had to do group work. We had to do group work for the first essay as well, which was
It's just not.
It just didn't make sense to me.
Different styles of writing.
It just doesn't mesh together.
Yeah.
And me and my partner actually did have a full day.
Oh, bless.
I just did it by myself. Thankfully, I did well and everything.
Yeah.
But it was stressful in that sense. But depending on who you work with, I think, because deep down everyone knows you need to get the grade.
You do,
So you need to put in the work. So I think as long as you know that, everything should go well. One thing I would say is when there's a budget involved, the best thing to do is set up some sort of separate account with money in it. Because
you're not going to get that
one thing you don't want to do, especially being like the leader of a project, is having to go around to everyone saying, oh, you owe this much to your project. Because no one wants to deal with that. No one likes to be on the receiving end. no one wants to do that. So that if I had one thing I would do differently, it would be that. So,
I think so too.
Yeah.
So actually, coming to speak of that, did you feel the financial pressure in terms of your ability to get the materials that you need, the access you need to be able to do things? How did you guys experience that?
So when you say that, as in like how capable?
Yeah. So was because you know Enias Mitra was just talking about the you know if you should have a saving pot for your work supplies, right? So were you kind of told that at the beginning that you would need sort of like this budget, or did you okay?
Yeah, I think money-wise, in general, they tell you, oh yeah, architecture is expensive.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And but when it actually comes to like coming into the group, like especially with group projects, like Mitra mentioned, they don't tell you how to deal with the financials of it. And I think, like she said, coming up with a system and like working out what we need. Of course, here and there are going to be some extras and, you know, some people doing out of budget. But no, yeah, it's just like something you just have to like learn from experience, I guess. Individually, sometimes in the beginning, you do happen to spend way too much and not use the reuse parts.
Of course.
So that in that sense, you know, I learned that, you know, there's always materials you don't need to pay for right in the reuse box. Yeah. So I think what this uni does great at in our Fab Lab, everyone who just has extra material, we just pop it into our big Fab reuse wall, and you just like get to use that. And especially when it comes to like sketch models and stuff, you don't want to be spending that like money.
Yeah. I don't remember us having a reuse storage system. I think that is really good that that's been put into play, because it used to be a little bit stressful. After you pay your tuition fees, you're just like, and you just look at your bank balance and it's like...
It's really bad. Yeah.
Okay, and then mental health-wise, you guys went from A-levels, which probably meant, you know, maybe you were going to bed by like 9. You know, maybe worst case scenario, you might be up to like 11, 12, maybe. And then you get into your first year of architecture. With the turnaround of work that you knew was required of you probably every week to be able to discuss the progression of that work or push that work every week, to managing your personal life, personal time. Obviously, you guys mentioned that, you know, the idea of, oh, this is going to be like a quick thing, and then it's not. How did you manage your sleep and your education at the same time? And also, were you guys living in uni or living at home with parents? Okay.
Well, let's see. So, the transition in the beginning, because you don't realize the amount of work you actually have to put in the beginning. So in the beginning, you're a bit more relaxed, so you do get that sleep. Then comes like week 2, week 3, you're like, it's not going to get done if I don't stay up. If I don't like actually, it's just because in studio days, you don't, it's more of a, they tell you things to do, you'll hear a message like about with the project, you're not actually doing the things. It's always after that 4 or 5 p.m. where you actually start doing something, you get somewhere. So it's like, it's inevitable to not stay up, to not extend those work hours. Me, personal, like my friends can tell you, if my friends outside of uni, I don't see them up until the summer holidays. So I live at uni and then go home to sleep and then come back. That's just how I work. I can't do work at home. As soon as I'm at home and on that bed, it's gone. So that's just personally me.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I, to this day, still don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless it's a holiday.
Right.
But yeah. I think it really depends on your work ethic. So I think it's very important to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And that's for some people very difficult to learn.
Of course.
Including myself. But we're slowly getting there. It's definitely better than it was at the beginning of the semester, even A-levels. Because like first semester I was staying at uni until 11 p.m. until studios closed.
Basic.
Especially with crit deadlines and things like that. You just have to power through sometimes. I think I feel like that's the harsh truth of it sometimes.
It is, yeah.
You just have to, you're going to be stressed. I think with any course, you're going to be stressed. It's like inevitable.
Yeah.
You can't really stop it. It's mostly about how you manage it. I'm proud to say that I've never consumed energy drinks during that time.
Yes. That's like,
Love it.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories about
it's so bad.
energy drinks at like 12 a.m.
You just see the bottles everywhere.
Before you know it, you're low-key addicted to like Red Bull, Pro Plus.
It's like people start even advertising it. You know, it's so nice. It's not even about the energy. No, don't do that to yourself.
I think one of the sounds a bit crazy, but one of the nice things is if everyone has to stay up, it's kind of vibes.
Yeah, no, fully.
Everyone's there, you know, community.
You can kind of relate to each other being like, oh, I have something due tomorrow. I'm going to have to charge it. I'm probably going to get yelled at tomorrow.
Oh,
so I don't have this. And then everyone's like, me too, don't worry.
It's like, okay, we're on the same boat.
Yeah. So that in that sense, it's kind of comforting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know that's not really the situation you want to be in.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
But in the worst case scenario, it's comforting.
Good.
Yeah.
But we got through it in the end.
You did.
We made it.
And congratulations for that again. So history and theory, critical thinking, merging that with trying to maybe figure out what your spatial orientation of your project is and floor plan layouts and orientation. You have all these little sections that you're introduced to between first and second semester. And somewhere along the line, you're supposed to marry this all up and submit a concise, we'd like to say resolved to an extent project that you can talk through and be critiqued through, and you can challenge the tutors on their feedback, or you can give the information. When did it all kind of start coming together? Because initially, I would imagine that you're just going through the motions. You know, you've got coursework, you've got work to do. You're doing this research. You're trying to figure out what your interest is in it, and trying to figure out enough interest to want to talk about it and be informed and engaging to everybody else. So how did you guys kind of put it all together? What was it like for you guys?
Do you want that? Okay. I think semester 2 was when we really had to start thinking about this kind of stuff, because that was when we actually had to start designing proper buildings. So I know every studio had different briefs, but they were similar in the sense that we had to design a building and it had to be more than one story. So there was, first of all, the site. So we had to make a site model. And
not all of us.
But we had to. We did it, our studio did it quite early on.
Right.
Which is good though.
Yeah. So we kind of whizzed through that as well as the client research. Client research is probably one of the most important things you can do in a project because it will inform almost every decision that you make.
Basically,
Of course,
yeah.
of course, of course.
So it gives you kind of like a framework on what to include, what not to include.
Yeah.
And like one thing my tutor said was an architect's worst nightmare is just a blank slate because they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So at least because we had the site and a client, we had some sort of foundation to work off of in the sense that we knew some things just aren't going to work in this space. So in that sense, it was good. But then actually coming up with the shape and things of the actual building was mostly trial and error.
Yeah.
You just have, like, I just made cubes and I put them together. Like, in different, like, orientation.
Yeah, yeah.
Programming stuff.
And then took photos of them. Experimentation. So,
And process.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like a major thing. They really like to see that. Just tons of experimentation. One major thing is why you do things. So if I decide to put in a corridor somewhere,
Why is that
why is that
corridor?
there?
Yeah.
Why can't you just have the two rooms next to each other? Why is this sink in the corner of the kitchen instead of in the middle? Why is this window not facing the way the sun rises?
Yeah.
All this other, like even site research as well. So which way the sun shines, the angle of the sun, different seasons. There's like so many things that go into it that
Annual rainfall.
Yeah.
as like as someone who doesn't know something, anything about it at the beginning and looking in, you don't realize how much goes into it. And I think that's kind of undersold a lot as well.
Yeah. I think, all the stuff that comes behind the final thing is what really makes up the project. And like she said, all the research and the client research, the site research is what kind of informs your whole project. I think in the beginning, because we kind of do it in broken steps, we kind of don't realize how they all just come together. In second semester, when they just put you onto that brief and you had to like come up with everything, you kind of like start realizing, oh wait, I did this last semester. I need to do this now.
Yeah.
You know, it's just those easy steps that you get done that then you can build on top of. I think that was like really important. For me with my projects, I find it easier to start with a story and then I start realizing who my client is. And then I can like pick the site, like, because in second semester we were given like a few sites in one whole area. So that's how I start to like, you know, build up. And then it's like, it's just like, I don't want to say common sense.
It's not so common.
But like, you know, start with the site and then your clients and then see what your story is. And then, of course, with the building, how you want to tell that story through your building. And like she said, where you put things, why you're doing things, why. It's like, But I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just in the beginning you don't realize how much you actually put in to make that final project. And model making.
How was model making for you guys?
It's just nothing that's in your brain actually comes to how you want it in the beginning. It's like you said, it's like a lot of trial and error. So I don't know, it's just like in the beginning, you just end up with like a scrap piece of something. But sometimes, you know, you look at that specific part and you're like, oh, maybe that, not the rest. And then you just start. And like material-wise, I think that's where I struggle because I tend to, like, once I start finding it nice to work with one material, I kind of stick to it. But then that kind of brings me down onto the development and the different material experiments that I could be doing and gaining way more marks. So it's just like always experiment with different things. Some things, of course, you may not like, but it will like gain you that experience because you know how to work with that material now, and of course, it may not be to your liking, but it's just, sometimes you may need it. So it's just all random. Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
I think one of the saving graces is laser cutting.
Oh, bless.
Laser cutting, I think the difficult part is mostly designing it on the software.
What programs were you using? Rhino?
Rhino. I think another thing is you have to test things before you put them through, because if you have a massive piece of mount board, for example, and you put it in the machine, and for some reason it doesn't cut all the way through.
Yeah, because you haven't done your settings properly.
And so
And the waste of material.
And a waste of money.
Yeah, so test stuff beforehand.
In small pieces.
Yes.
Even when we were we learned laser cutting in the second semester, in the first 2 weeks in that workshop. And one thing they could not iterate enough was to test things, because my God,
Test. They made us do 3 tests, no?
I think so.
Yeah.
A good thing I actually found was they had a small flip book of like different materials,
Nice,
hard, and then it would show like the different lines with different settings on them to see how they would turn out on the material. I think that was one really good thing. One really annoying thing was super glue. Because you have to wait like 2-3 days for it to come off.
Oh yeah.
So
I never got to enjoy having my nails done until I was no longer really making models.
Obviously scalpel.
My favourite, 7A.
You have to be careful with those. I think there was some things, like some equipment that I didn't know what they were. For example, I didn't know what a French curve was. I didn't know how to use it. It was just the thing that bends. So I think there's 2 versions. There's just one that bends, and there was an actual stencil. So we got the one that bends, and I just didn't know what it was for.
All I did was just bend it.
The thing that looks like shoelace spaghetti.
It looks like one of those like taffy things. But I did not know what that was at the beginning. And then I saw someone using it.
Oh, that's
what you do.
That's what it's for. Now it makes sense. I think at the end I never fully had a need for it.
I guess,
I had a compass.
That's all I needed.
Yeah. Compass was very helpful. Compass is more helpful than you think it is.
Yeah.
Protractor is more helpful than you think.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working with something circular.
Yeah,
I
of
think,
course.
especially in first year, they really encourage us to just experiment a ton. So, because we didn't have a budget or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So, with our designs, we could go as wacky as we wanted as long as we stayed inside.
Yeah.
Even some of the tutors didn't even care. But as long as it like followed the guidelines and things, it was fine. So I had the genius idea of doing a circular building.
Nice.
Semester,
Yeah.
and I suffered. So there were so many angles I had to measure.
Yeah.
And
geometry.
Yeah, geometry. Yeah.
My Rhino free trial ran out as well.
Oh, goddamn.
So, that was
not.
But we got through it. I think at least with that, it really helped me with my craftsmanship. It sounds really fancy, but I think laser cutting is good and everything, but I think it's also really important that you practice just
100%
cutting things
with card. Just so your hand-eye coordination improves.
Stuff like my hand in general, it just gives your work a lot more character.
And you understand. I think it's better.
But obviously, when you're on a time crunch, you want to go digital. Because, especially with second semester, I could not imagine doing things
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to hate that. I used to hate it. I was on an A1 board, drawing everything and seeing tutors. Yes, seeing tutors twice a week. And you'd have to update that sheet that you drew.
One as well.
And so, when I learned Rhino, I forced myself to learn other programs as well because I said, I can't. The turnover.
Yeah.
It's just,
I don't.
we need efficiency. Okay, so overall, you completed the year. How did you feel at the end of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got through it. Time to sleep. I think, it was just okay, people think it'll take a long time to finish that first, like in general, to finish a year. It was just so quick, I feel like. I don't think we realized how quick everything went. Like first semester finished like this, and then second semester, you're already nearing deadlines. So everything just goes by quickly. It's like the amount of time, like first semester, like how many weeks is it? It's just like, 2 months and a bit. It seems a lot, but it's not. And it's just that fraction of time.
Yeah.
And but it's, happy to come into summer holidays.
Yeah.
It's a bit too long though, but I'm not going to complain right now.
Wait till you get back in the course. I wish I was on holiday.
But no, it's nice. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think finishing first year was like Hail Mary.
Covering, we kind of gave ourselves the...
I think we've heard a few horror stories about second year.
Yeah.
Everyone says like first year experiment.
Like I heard
be
the
happy.
statistic of like half the people in first year drop out by second year.
I think
crazy to think about.
that is a reality, but I also think it's a catch-22 as well. I think because it's that like law, like second year is going to be like this, and then that idea that okay, these are the rumors that oh my god, like a whole bunch of us drop out. The fact that it's perpetuated can cause anxiety, because if that's what you've been told and that's what you send and everyone believes that, then whenever things get tough for you on the course, you're going to think, oh my God, maybe I'm the one that's maybe I'm going to drop out and stuff like that. So I think it catches you out, and it definitely is mindset. You can't let the pressures psych you out of what you're trying to achieve.
You have to be strong.
Definitely strong-minded, definitely resilient. And so now that you look back on it, do you see how it all came together, or does it seem like a bit of a blur for you in the fact that it went so quickly? Do you feel that you retained everything? Like, where are you now in your mind and your person in relation to that first week when you entered the course?
Yeah, first week I was more like, try to learn the stuff, get your mindset into it, like actually just, start step by step, getting into the mood and getting into the habit of just working as an architect student and getting used to things, like, the late nights, the overload. But I think now it's more like figure out your time management. You know what it's like. You know the time things can take. So just give yourself that time and prepare and just work out some type of time management system. Of course, it's not always going to go as planned. Of course. But don't be too lost in it or too cramped work and everything. And also now I'm also starting to think about more, architecture and where in architecture we kind of want to go into after, because year 2, I feel like that's what builds onto where you want to direct your architecture profession into. So I think that's also looking into the different possible careers you can go into within architecture, whether you want to stay into simple architecture or go into those small specialized things. I think that's where I'm kind of thinking.
Nice.
Yeah, I think in comparison to the beginning of the year, I've learned so much. I think at the beginning I couldn't even imagine
How much
giving
you
a
would
presentation, actually finishing a project, and having it actually work. It's just things you don't think will happen. Things you don't even think about will happen.
Of course.
Things you expect might not happen at all. So it's really like you get to experience everything. I think architecture is such a broad course. I think people that first enter it and think they know everything about it, they're lying. Because it's so, I think it's so heavy. It's because when I first joined the course, I had this idea of, you have to know everything about your course when we enter it. I feel like for some reason that's what people try to push on.
With all the personal
but the whole point of you being there is to learn about it. So I think that's something. I think in that respect, it's kind of reassured me to think, I don't need to know everything, but I'll learn it. I think I've definitely delved into more books than I have previously. Definitely
non-fiction.
Referencing.
If I ever need to do that again. Writing essays, just in general, is like an underrated skill.
It is.
It's very
critical thinking.
Even knowing how to send an email.
Of course.
It's just one of the
little things
you have to know. So that was good as well. I think, a lot has happened.
Have you guys been able to absorb it, or is it still, we're in July, so I'm sure you're still taking it in.
Pending.
I think it's the fact that there's so much more to come still.
You got to keep space.
It's like, that happens, but we've got 10 times more to do. So, obviously, it's kind of like a foundation thing. We have to build upon it next year. That's when it starts to count.
That's when it does.
This year was like a practice thing. I don't think it counts.
It doesn't count to our point. We still have to pass it for next year.
Of course.
So that happened. I didn't even think I could, because one of the things we can do is apply to study abroad. So we both did that as well.
Fantastic. Good stuff.
Doing that next year.
Fantastic.
Hopefully. But that's also terrifying. Right now in my mind,
what am I gonna do?
It sounds wild. I can't imagine myself living by myself in a foreign country without anyone I know. It sounds terrifying. But
it might just be the best experience you will ever have.
Next year I'll be there and I'll be like,
I did that. I know, right? That's like how we're right now. I draw orthographics and be like, I went to Australia. That's not nice. Scary.
You guys will be fine. I'm so proud of you guys, man. It's really dope to see how much you've grown, and it's even opened my eyes, because I came from an art background and I thought I struggled, but then the fact that I did art background and then you guys came from physics and maths, and then all of a sudden you have to draw, and both sides have their opportunities and constraints. And the fact that you guys have been able to highlight that on your journey and your path, I really appreciate it. And I think it would be really helpful for other people as well. And actually to start diminishing a lot of that internal monologue of fear and angst and anxiety. Just the more we talk about the work process and what it's entailed, people can be a little bit more prepared, and we can end the rumors and the the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain type thing, and get everyone really accustomed into the industry. So thank you guys for coming in. It was an absolute pleasure. And so for those who may be considering architecture or coming in or where they're at in their course, what advice would you guys give? What would be some tips that you could give at this point for anybody that's studying any type of architectural design course?
No. I think it's like, don't be scared of architecture. It can be a very scary subject, but if you know you like it, you like some aspect of it, I think it's definitely like a good, like, just carry on and push through it. It can be stressful. There may be projects that are just not for you, but that's just like how everything is about. It's like some things in life you just don't like. It's just not for you. So I guess that's just how I see architecture. Like some projects, for me, one project I like absolutely went crazy about. I loved it. You know, the other I wasn't so like into it. It wasn't really my thing, but it's just like push through things and, you know, like resilience. So because like the end product, it'll just be worth it 100%.
Of course.
Like you learn so much through it. It's like right now, I may not be happy with what my final piece was, but I know how to draw on AutoCAD now. I know how to use all these things. I could go back to that project and make it a whole different new world.
Of course.
So it's just thinking about the things you pick up along the way that help build you as a person and your skills. I think that's just like really important, and architecture really offers that. Especially like different projects, you do different researches. Some person may be researching about, I don't know, mafia or like it's just there's different things you research about. You learn more things that are not necessarily architecture related, but you need
history,
them. You need it for your project.
Yeah.
So I think it's a whole different world and it offers a lot. So I think, you know, be resilient and it'll definitely be worth it for the end.
Yeah. Love that.
I think some advice I would give, I think you should do things that you're afraid to do.
Of course.
Regardless. Like me, I'm terrified of everything.
But you're scared and doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow you're going to look back and say, oh, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah. And own it and be proud of it. Yeah.
I think another thing is maybe if you're thinking of doing architecture, but you feel like you don't have like a passion, I guess, for it, I feel like if you still want to do it, then go for it. Because I think passion is something that
You can build up.
you can, it doesn't have to be inherent, like a lot of people say. I think like a lot of people kind of, when they talk about taking architecture, they say it's like something they've always wanted to do. But I think it's okay if you don't even know anything about the course. I mean, obviously, like, do some research. But I think from the get-go, you're not going to know everything about your course.
Yeah.
That's just how.
That's the reality. Yeah.
So I think don't let that discourage you from doing what you want to do, because you can do it now and the passion will come to you later.
Of course.
You will find things that you like to do. It might not even be like rooted in like the bulk of the course. It could be something niche that's still like relating to it. But at least you can say, oh, I did this and I didn't like it. But there's a small part that I did like, so I'm going to do that.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Oh, darn. Yay! We love this. We love this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And so, what have you guys got planned for the summer holidays? Fantastic. Make sure you get to see loads of buildings.
Yes.
Also, non-related buildings. Immerse yourself in creative stuff. Storytelling, history, culture. Just make the world your scrapbook.
Yes.
And you'll have an amazing year come second year. Oh, so where can we find you? Because now you are first year experts, and social media is social mediaing. So where can we find you guys and your work if you wanted to share that?
I'm not a social media person.
That's understandable.
Which I need to be for architecture wise. But yeah, no, I don't use social media as of now. But maybe in the future.
You have LinkedIn?
I should.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And what about you?
I'm on Instagram.
Yay!
MIT_099_.
Nice.
That's me. You'll see an octopus with a blue background.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
Love it. Like I like to tell everybody, with all the episodes that we have, they're here to give helpful tips, to give insight, but also, to make you not feel like you're going through it by yourself on any sort of design course that you're doing. And so if you have any questions or you'd like to DM us or be in touch, we have Musings Behind the Creative on Instagram. And you can find Musings Behind the Creative on all major platforms. We also have our YouTube under Studio RDN-x, and you will be able to see the visuals on Studio RDN-x on YouTube under Musings Behind the Creative. And you can find me, the host, Renata Dixon-Morsu, on LinkedIn. Studio RDN-x on Instagram, and Medici on Instagram also. And if you ever have any questions for our mentors, you can also contact our mentors on LinkedIn as well as on Instagram. And we shall see you on the other side. Okay. Thank you.